Hello and welcome to Sketch and Review, the review show of SNL. I'm with my co-host Connor Griffin, and
Hello.
I am Bill Pedotto. Let's jump right in. So we've got a cold open that warms my heart so much. So it's an NFL press conference, and I'm just such a huge football fan. It's the one sport that I can truly just sit down and turn my brain off and watch, and it's just so much fun to have it coincide with the other thing that I turn my brain off to watch. Connor, I could talk about this literally probably for an entire hour, just the whole history of it, and so if you want to start.
Sure. It is so I guess the rundown is it's a sketch about how just riffing off of the idea that one of the coach of the Raiders was either asked to leave or resigned or something like that over some pretty heinous emails that got leaked. And the running gag is the fact that every single person on staff has also had really heinous emails, and everybody is getting fired one after another. It's a good time.
Oh, yeah. So for a little bit of background, this past week has been a wild thing in the world of football. During Monday Night Football, news breaks that Gruden's emails have been leaked to the New York Times and that they make fun of women referees. They say, like, shit about gay people, African American. It's a whole mess of absolute horrid shit. And the announcers of that football game have to half talk about it while still commentating on the game. It was a surreal moment to just sit there and be watching football and be like, these are not the people I want to break this news.
God, I wish that was the opening. That sounds great.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, John Gruden is out for the Raiders. He had a meeting the next day with the owner, Mark Davis, who also shows up in this sketch with the worst hairline I've ever seen. That's his actual hairline, also.
Wonderful.
And made in no uncertain terms that Gruden was going to have to resign. The wildest part about this entire situation, just in the real world for a sec, is that these emails came out because of a probe into the Washington football team. So it's about the owner, Dan Snyder, used to use his cheerleaders as prostitutes, basically.
Oh, Jesus.
And they're looking into that, and they found this part of it.
Hey.
Oh, huge. Listen, there's a lot of huge yikes in football. I do not condone it.
Oh, jeez.
For some
sorry.
For some basic stuff, we have Colin Jost as Roger Goodell. Classic, very good. I love it when he comes on for a cold open. You can tell it's going to be a special night when that happens.
Yeah. There's always that. Is that Colin?
It was Colin. I really like that the Washington football team went to Italian stereotypes.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
I was. So the bit is that it was a play on the team formerly known as the Redskins, which they have a new name now, don't
the
they?
Washington football team.
Are they really just called the Washington football team?
They were for the 2020 season. They are for the 2021 season. They haven't decided on a name yet. Something tells. Listen, if it were up to me, I'd keep them the football team. That's their punishment.
Honestly, I thought that they were throwing a fit. I thought they were like, oh, well, then we won't have a name. But,
honestly, a little bit. Some Native Americans actually cursed the Redskins for a while.
Good.
In 2012, relatively recently, in the 2010s, a local tribe did a ceremony at their stadium, and then they lost forever.
Amazing. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Good on them.
Sometimes the good guys win. Uh, but yeah, so the riff is they were trying to come up with a name, and so they came up with a name that was playing to Italian stereotypes instead. And a man walks up in a big red hat and striped overalls and giant gloves and starts talking about pizza. It's a good bit. I was a little, and I think it's kind of not it's not fair to be upset that they didn't go for exactly the joke that I wanted them to go for. But I would have rather the silly mascot, get fired for his emails than the silly mascot realize what he was doing was not right.
Yeah, it did seem like they should have just went with always for the game
Yeah.
instead of. I think they do. I think they do actually do it exactly 3 times though. Because
Yeah, no, they
they
they're like
they did rules of 3 because we have Gruden resigns, Pete Davidson resigns, and then Andrew Dismukes resigns.
That's right. That's one thing that's a running theme in this episode. They don't shoot for the stars in a lot of ways, but they constantly do the basics, which it can be less frustrating than when they don't even do the basics.
Dismukes. So for like the past 2 seasons that Dismukes has been on, I've been like he looks and sounds like a young John Mulaney, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This sketch made me realize that he's learning so much from Mikey Day.
Yes, yeah.
His
Absolutely.
entire performance in this sketch is I'm just like this would be Mikey Day a few years ago.
Absolutely.
And then solid research on SNL for bringing Kaepernick back on.
Yeah. If only somebody warned us about all this.
If only.
Oh.
All right. So after the cold open, we move into Rami's monologue.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, a little awkward, but it's fine. I mean, that's kind of his shtick anyway. Well,
Yeah.
not shtick. That's kind of his person.
That's his baseline.
That's right.
Listen, he had some good villain jokes. I am surprised but happy that they didn't go for I rooted for Johnny Lawrence in Karate Kid.
I was I was a big just like unreasonably close to actuallying him on the Silence of the Lambs joke, even though it is a joke and we're supposed to be having fun.
What's your actually about it?
He's the bad guy in the previous movie. He's not the bad. Whatever. What's the guy's name?
I guess technically Buffalo Bill is the villain.
Yeah, definitely Buffalo Bill's the villain. The Hannibal Lecter is just like he's an anti-hero, if anything.
Yeah, fair. Think about it. He's just trying to make amends. He had a nice friend for dinner.
That's right. Oh.
I
Anyway,
did love that his entire point of that one was, can't she just leave him alone?
That's right. No, it was a setup for a good joke. Like, I shouldn't be. I'm just being pedantic. There's no.
Oh no, I'd say. I don't know. I think Kim's was better, to be honest.
Oh, absolutely, 10 times better.
Yeah,
there's no two ways about it, and it evens out. Well, it doesn't even out, but it's fine. Like Rami just comes at it like all cylinders running for the rest of the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like
listen.
no.
It's also always a good sign when the monologue is probably the weakest part of the show.
It's true.
All right, so after that, we get to the bug assembly.
I am such a big fan of the bug assembly.
Apparently, so normally we record on Sunday, we're recording on Wednesday. Apparently, through the people who I know who use TikTok, it became huge on TikTok.
Oh, how could it not?
Right.
Such a joy.
He is really tapped into like gay culture icon status for SNL.
I hope they don't milk it too much, because he did play very similar characters 3 times. And it's not that he didn't do it. Well, actually, that's not fair. He just did a very bad George Takei impression, which is unrelated mostly. But God, this Daddy Longlegs.
Daddy Longlegs.
We should probably
talk about the sketch. Yeah.
So the you're going to need to walk me through the names of these people.
All right. So on stage we have, it starts with Andrew Dismukes is playing. So the overarching sketch is about an assembly for middle school about bugs. So we start with Andrew Dismukes is playing a praying mantis. Sarah Sherman is playing a ladybug. Rami Malek is playing a stink bug. And Bowen Yang is playing Daddy Longlegs. And so the first 3 introduce themselves in a normal fashion. And then Bowen introduces himself, I'm Daddy Longlegs. And then it goes into a fucking club beat while he rips it on the dance floor.
He does something between like a dance and like runway walk.
Yeah, it's like, it's just perfectly encapsulates what the character is going to be about for the entire sketch.
Absolutely, and that is the entire sketch. We just keep finding it's a breath of fresh air when they just nail the fundamentals, and that's what this is. We set up a weird character. Every single thing is so that we can engage with this weird character in as fun ways as we can, and then when it's over, it's over. We can't do a punchline, but SNL could never do punchlines, except for one thing that happens tonight. It's really good. Can't say enough good things about it. An excellent performance. Also, weird how hard Rami almost stole the show. Couldn't, because what's this new guy's name again?
Bowen.
Oh, Bowen. Because Bowen just owned the stage. But in any other sketch, Rami would have just owned it with this just most convincing awkward child trying his best to be a bug I've ever seen.
He does nail that awkward level to like kind of almost ground the scene in pure reality, where it's like, oh no, these are middle schoolers.
It's true. It's so true.
Even with his shitty joke where he's like, I eat weeds and grass, but not that kind. Haha, don't get me in trouble.
Yeah. Also with the guy playing the praying mantis and you're going to need to forgive me because I cannot remember. I'm going to remember the name of I'm only ever going to remember the name of the host and 3 people that have been in it for 8 years. Other than that,
yep. Don't worry, I got them all up here. I was always the names guy in improv. I'll be the names guy for this podcast.
And memorably in improv on stage, when I was supposed to say everyone's name, I forgot someone. And
that was without a doubt the most stressful part of any show we did.
Oh God. Anywho.
Yeah, so Dismukes is the praying mantis, and he says that Rami's one of the least smelly 7th graders.
Oh, so joyful. And then like just such a good principle from Keenan, just going, well, good.
Mm-hmm. Heidi playing the vice principal is also a perfect little supporting character for her.
Absolutely. Oh, just a great one all around.
I will say, this is a bold sketch for sketch number 1 after the monologue.
The problem is it's all bangers. It's all sketches that like were it any other night would be the sketch of the night. It's just such a strong night.
You gotta love it when SNL just manages to hit all of the gears perfectly and just create the killer episodes. There's only like 2 a season total.
Yep.
And we hit one on the 3rd episode, which gives me high hopes.
Yeah, me too. Anyway.
Alright, so after that we get the Squid Game song. country rap was so perfect for Squid Game. I don't know why it worked so well.
It's just very good. I usually don't like these like hyper pop culture things, especially since I've only seen one episode of Squid Game, the second one.
Wait a minute, you've only seen the second episode of Squid Game.
Yep. Yeah, no,
that's the episode where nothing happens.
Yes. No, I'm well aware. I mean it's good. It's good. It's just it's an hour's a lot to ask of me. But
fair enough. Listen, if you have nothing, I will say this for anyone who's listening who hasn't seen Squid Game yet. If you were like hard pressed to find a show to watch, it'll give you 9 hours.
Yeah.
Of like content. But if you're trying to like watch good shit, Squid Game sucks.
Devastating. That's a hot take.
You could try to at me on Twitter, but I'm not on it.
Fuck. Oh. But yeah, no, it's a great juxtaposition. It's fun. It's fun. It's a good time. I've only seen one episode, so I can't say how close it plays to the entire plot of Squid Game.
Pretty close.
I'm somewhat afraid that it might spoil the entire plot of Squid Game.
It does not spoil the entire plot of Squid Game. I will say that. But it does hit a solid amount.
Oh.
Alright, so after that little pre-taped song, we get the Prince auditions.
This one was possibly the weakest for me.
Yeah.
It was still a good time, but it was a weird joke, a weird bit, and just like not all that fulfilling.
Here's the thing. I think that they had a very good game in the sketch. So the sketch, Rami Malek and Kenan Thompson come in dressed as Prince. It's about the Prince biopic that Jordan Peele is doing. I don't know if that's a real thing or not.
I'm not sure either.
I don't keep up on my Prince lore, so... Anyway, and the entire gimmick is anytime they ask them to embody Prince, it plays the same little guitar riff, and then they like pose.
Yeah. And it's just that for a bit, and the running joke is the fact that Rami Malek is white and Kenan Thompson is black, and you already know who's going to get cast because Rami Malek is white and Kenan Thompson is black, and they're both doing identical portrayals of the same character, and it's a biopic for famous not white person Prince.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the whole running gag. And then of course, and then a surprise at the end is where Daniel Craig shows up, thinking that it is a audition for a role of a prince. So he shows up in some poofy
Shakespearean-esque.
Yeah, and then he does the same pose, and he gets the role because he's Daniel Craig.
I will say that I think my favorite part about it was just the throwaway twofer joke of, the twist is that it's actually a horror movie about racism, because that's every Jordan Peele film.
Yeah, no, that was far and away the strongest part of the sketch, and it was really good. It had a really good callback, especially when Daniel Craig, who'd seen none of the scene before, walks in and doesn't know anything about the movie, but since it's a Jordan Peele movie, knows that it's good. It's solid.
Mm-hmm. Alright, we can move on to, so next up, we get Celeb School, which is a quality game show sketch. Game show sketches, always quality, because they have a natural format that you can modify to what you need.
Absolutely, it's just more Celebrity Jeopardy. It's Celebrity Jeopardy times 4, and I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm. So first off, let's talk about it. The Kenan Thompson smidgen off named character. This week it is Bert Simpson.
It's just I'm starting to get the feeling that Kenan walks on stage and comes up with a fun name and insists that be the name.
Yeah, it's just
because it's only him and it's every episode.
It's just always a hoot.
It really is. Bert Simpson.
So we'll go through the people. We've got Mikey Day playing John Oliver.
An exceptional John Oliver.
Perfect John Oliver. Chloe Fineman as Jennifer Coolidge from White Lotus.
I haven't seen it, but I know, and I didn't know the actress by name, but just another dead-on impression.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I know that. I know that is exactly how she must be in that film, or TV show. For a second, I thought that Coolidge might also just be the mom in Schitt's Creek.
No, I think most of the family of Schitt's Creek is actually just a family.
Maybe. I don't know.
No,
I know that Eugene and Dan are actual father and son.
Yeah, I think the wife is his wife as well.
Yeah, no, I looked it up and I was wrong. So
Oh, okay.
It's just like that for some reason fills the same space. I've also only seen the first season of Schitt's Creek, so...
Ooh, it only gets better. It's really good.
Next up, we have Kyle Mooney as Adam Driver.
Another It's just all bangers.
It's like...
Possibly the best Adam Driver I've ever seen.
And I've seen Adam Driver.
That's right.
This is my impression. This is my favorite impression of the sketch. Melissa Villaseñor as Kristen Wiig.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it in a second.
Yeah.
Bowen Yang as George Takei.
It was fun.
Chris Redd as Lil Wayne.
I don't know much about Lil Wayne, but it was a hell of a fun time to watch.
Pete Davidson as Rami Malek. And Rami Malek as Pete Davidson.
The star of the entire thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh. So I'm going to start with my favorite impression. Melissa Villaseñor as Kristen Wiig nails it. Nails it so perfectly and on such like a satirical level. It's just I think that Kristen Wiig is a very funny person. Unfortunately, you're gonna know who I'm talking about when I say this. Having improvised with someone who made every character Kristen Wiig, God, is it exhausting.
I genuinely can't figure out who you're talking about.
I'll tell you after.
But jeez.
Just the whole, I don't know, I'm being weird. Like, that entire aspect of it.
Yeah.
Who'd you love
I'm trying
the best?
to remember. It was Adam Driver. I'm trying to remember the specific line about Adam Driver. But just that well, it's funny how, like, Adam Driver was in a Star Wars movie, but the Adam Driver movie remains Marriage Story. If you want to play Adam Driver, you're righteously screaming about something that doesn't matter at all. That's Adam Driver. and
we're gonna have fun.
That's it. Yeah. We're gonna have fun. Adam Driver is just such a unique person in a lot of ways, and it makes seeing impressions of him such a joy. And it's again, like Kristen Wiig, it's just really fun to see you lampoon the characters. I mean, it's an open goal like Nicolas Cage is, stuff like that. It's such a joy. But you're
also Mikey Day is John Oliver. Nails it. That one too. That one, he not only nails the accent, he nails the exact way that he would write, like he would write down his talking points for Last Week Tonight.
He did either he wrote it or someone else wrote it, but when they did, they took everything that makes, and I love John Oliver, they take everything that makes John Oliver annoying as shit. They just played all the hits.
Mm-hmm. It's just everything that like just irks some people and irks some people a lot.
Yep. Because it's like he's really good, but he does the same three jokes a lot of the time. And here's those three jokes. But yeah, no, there's and then just like for some in the past couple, you just get this feeling that Pete Davidson is just like friends with all the hosts, and they all just really like hanging out with him.
Pete Davidson is super cool as a person, from what I can tell.
Yeah. Like there's this Pete. You just got this sense that Pete Davidson and Rami Malek were just shitting on each other, like just hanging out and like making fun of each other. And it was it was borderline hurtful, the stuff that they were doing about saying and doing it with each other. But they were clearly having such a good time.
Oh. They make the whole sketch. They are the meat and potatoes of this sketch, even though realistically they probably have like 10% of the sketch total to them.
Yeah, no, they make the sketch in an already spectacular sketch. And a pretty solid ending. where what's his name? Chekhov's Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne disappears halfway through the sketch. He has to reappear at the end with the punchline. It works.
Yep, this one was perfect. You gotta love when SNL is just like, let's just do impressions for a sketch.
Yeah. Hey, it's all we ever want to do. Why do we stop?
So after that, we get to Young Thug's first song. Fun little part is that the drummer for Blink-182, who SNL, if you remember last week, had Mikey Day play on the People's Court, showed up and played the drums for his two songs. It's always fun when you get people who you just recently lampooned to show up. It's like when they got Palin.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good song. Again, I've got such a narrow music library, so I can never be like, my favorite band. But I'm never that upset with the musical performances. They pick songs that pretty much everyone would like, and as a member of pretty much everyone, I tend to like them.
Mm-hmm. No complaints. All pretty good.
There is a silly part about this first song, and I could just be crazy, but I mentioned this. It did feel like for at least for the first like 60% of this song, the people in the background, either the mics were not picking up their instruments, or the mics were turned down so low to make way for the music that you just see the drummer for Blink-182 just wailing on these drums and not really hearing any drums.
Yeah, so I will say they did have to raise the drums up, but I will say part of what I think you're like mishearing a little is the fact that they didn't have the piano player out on stage for that first song.
Yeah,
and so a lot of their sound is coming through, but you don't see it, so you don't register it as part of the band. You register it as part of the backing track.
Yeah, I believe it.
Alright, so now we move on to Weekend Update.
Always a good time.
Always a good time. So let's just move into the featured sections. So first we got the first gay Oompa Loompa.
Proud gay.
Proud, yeah.
We can't say the first.
True.
We haven't met any other Oompa Loompas.
Colin Jost hosts this featured segment, and it's the joke. Like 90% of the joke is that Colin just accidentally outed this Oompa Loompa to everyone.
And honestly, pretty solid joke, pretty solid execution. I was very happy with.
I think my favorite part of it was that moment where he goes, "When does this go out? So I know it's live." It's live.
It distracts him for the rest of what is supposed to be a serious thing. It's just it's solid. Like it's hard to find something in this episode that isn't solid, and I don't want to look for it.
Yeah, I had too much fun to complain.
Yeah.
After that, we get what might be my favorite of the featured performers, featured weekend update segments, is Chris Redd. There's something about...
Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, wait, no, you're right. Chris Redd is next, yes.
Mm-hmm. They end. So, Chris Redd is wild sometimes. Though, I've listened to, like, a few, like, minutes of his stand-up and stuff, and his stand-up is exactly like what he was doing on SNL, and it's just so funny for me, because he's playing a psycho, but, like, a lovable psycho.
If his stand-up sounds like that, it's gotta be good. Like, there's just... His blimps bit just had me rolling.
Yo, I really thought about it, like, why don't we know who's flying these things?
Well, are they real? Probably. Of course. Probably.
Yeah, you think.
That's right. A fast-moving blimp is a missile. Like, just great stuff. Also, Chris Redd,
February 29th, 2020. Black people can't get the coronavirus!
Yeah, like, I just watched it, I was like, is that real? You could get in real, actual trouble for that, dude.
I mean, granted, it was before March of 2020. And what I
see.
What I will say is that there were a ton of Rona jokes that night. A lot of them. Enough. That's the only one that didn't really work.
Oy vey. Goddamn.
It's funny because like that was in 2020, so that was the 2019 season. So he hasn't been on update for the entire 2020 through 2021. Probably as punishment for saying.
Oh, that's amazing. There is also just a quick, really good the running Colin Jost as racist gag is just always fun.
To get into the jokes before we hit the final featured segment. The Michael Shea email to him, was so funny to me. And it was just like the three parts of Colin Jost reading it. It's saying, what did it say? Like, shut up, honky. Was like the subject. Listen up, honky was the subject line. And then it was just, I wish they shot you instead of Harambe.
Which, just like, making a Harambe joke in the year of our Lord 2021 is a bold move, but it absolutely worked.
Oh, it hit hard for me. But the funniest part has to be right after that finishes. Michael Shea without missing a beat. Oh, so you got that one.
Yeah, Michael Shea was on it today.
His trickle down economics jokes.
Oh man, it's so great because Michael Shea and Colin Jost it's an awkward chemistry, but it's a spectacular chemistry.
It just works so well.
It really does.
Also, Colin Jost's joke about what if we use bats to transport stuff, because bats have been really good at transporting other stuff that they've carried.
A lot of bat fans in the
audience. Yeah, what are you, a pro-bat crowd?
That's right.
Alright, and the final featured segment, Linus the Minus, the stage hypnotist. Pretty fun. Mikey Day comes out as a stage hypnotist. Kenan Thompson plays a security guard at 30 Rock.
Yep.
And Mikey Day puts him under, and when he puts him under, Kenan Thompson wets himself.
Yeah. Again, like it's so simple. How do you, like? There's a lot of the jokes in this. A lot of the reason why these sketches are so strong is because you picked the thing that worked and you did it. The character pisses himself. What now is enough? It's enough.
Yeah, so he wakes him up. He's pissed that he pissed himself, so he has to put him under again. And then it turns into a weird thing with Zendaya. It's just a consistent escalation.
Absolutely, and ending with again one of the strongest SNL punchlines ever, because SNL is again famous for bad or non-existent punchlines. Where the whole thing culminates in he finally Linus finally figures out the series of things that he can say to get Keenan to stop freaking out. And then Keenan's a regular security guard again, and then he says, "Oh, and Michael, those hookers in your room, something something something."
Have to put on tell those hookers in your room to put on a mask.
That's right. and then Michael Shea goes and sleep, and then he goes back to sleep. It's just such a quality punchline. It's very good.
It works.
Yeah.
Listen, when it works, it works.
Yeah, well, the great thing about it was you didn't see it coming. It made perfect sense with the rest of the sketch that happened before, because the running joke was every time he'd freak out, and then someone would say and sleep, and then put him back to sleep, or try to I can't say enough good things about that bit. I'm very happy with it.
Yep. So after that, we get Sleepytown Usa the Sketch. What a sketch, huh?
Oh, it's real good. I've got a hot take on it, but
so the basics of the sketch is Rami Malek and A.D. Bryant are shopping for a new bed as a couple. Bone Yang is the sales associate there. And they're going mattress shopping, specifically, not bed shopping, which is slightly different.
For all those bed fans.
Yeah, for all you pedantics.
Oh, don't worry, I'm paying attention.
And so they're like, all right, well, let's test it out. And then each time that they go to test it out, it's just a fight that they have in bed.
So good. Such a good conceit.
Oh.
And Rami both of them, but they both sell it so well. This is a sketch that could have been
bad.
Okay.
It could have really crashed and burned, but both performers decided we're gonna play this as straight as possible.
Absolutely, and as hard as possible.
Mm-hmm.
God, just such a joy.
When the first fight basically ends with "you reek of vermouth and whores," and then it only goes up from there.
Oh. Such a good way to start. Just in case, no beating around the bush here. You reek of vermouth and whores. Amazing.
I don't even have much to say because that's just one you gotta see.
Yeah. I one note, really just one. The ending was not super strong. It kind of just petered out. There were a couple of places where you could have cut it. The ending, and I think this is just because I'm a cruel and horrifying person. No, that can't be it. I think I'm wonderful. But the problem is so at the end, the last thing that they reenact in their bed is waking up and thinking that there is an intruder. Now here's one way you could have ended it. And then the best part about this scene, which also might just be the best part of the scene overall, is she tells Rami to get the gun, and then Rami lifts up the pillow on the showroom mattress, and there is a gun underneath the pillow, which is already the funniest shit ever. And then from there, I feel like the ending to the scene is you shoot the showroom manager.
Yeah, obviously they should have shot the showroom manager.
And then she should have been like, "Oh, you saved our lives," and then they should have started making out on the bed, which is of course what happens to the. And then scene out, easy. They didn't do that, so then they just started making out on the bed. That's fine. And then that's a great place to cut it too. They didn't do that. They did another scene where the guy was back, and then he murdered Rami, and then she's crying over his corpse.
And then it's an ad for Sleepytown.
Yeah, the scene went on a little long, but murdering him and then crying over his corpse, great time to end the scene. Awkward transition into this actually being an ad the whole time. No, weak sauce. You did it again, SNL.
My favorite part about the gun is that he grabs a pistol, and then she reaches under her pillow and grabs the shotgun and says, "No, the killing gun."
That's right. Oh.
Yeah, I do agree that it probably has the weakest ending.
Yeah.
Except for maybe the Prince sketch, but...
Yeah, the Prince sketch. Yeah.
So after Sleepytown, we get Young Thug's second song. Another hit. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, me too. The guy from I think the dude that was singing the
hook.
Yeah, the hook was the dude from that one band.
Oh boy,
it's got a couple of letters in it.
REM.
They made that. No. It's one of the bands that's got a couple of letters in it. They did that.
Fun?
They did that song about. Yeah, I think he's the dude from Fun.
Maybe we'll never know.
He was I can't not feel like he was wearing a bathrobe, but I gotta say, Young Thug's outfit was so quality.
Mm-hmm.
It was exceptional.
Mm-hmm. You gotta love just excessive expression.
Just so quality. Oh, the see-through like flower shirt under the giant feather jacket with the like weird spectacles and just a great time.
Mm-hmm. Young Thug killed it.
And then there was some other dude looking bored on a piano.
Mm-hmm.
Just what a trio.
And then we get to the last sketch. 10 minutes to 1. Let's break out the weirdness.
Oh, man.
Angelo.
It's hard to get a read on it.
Listen, I've seen it twice now. I still don't know if I truly understand it.
Yeah, so I love it. I love Angelo. I'm a big Angelo fan right here.
I'd buy his album.
I'd buy his album. Really great. This was actually the least technically solid sketch of the night.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
The escalation was weird. The running joke was a little lukewarm. The performances of the actors were not up to what the characters needed. Except Angela. Angela knocked it out of the fucking park. And Daniel Craig also did a great job. It was really just Rami Malek's dancing. I wanted more weird than low energy, and I just got low energy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. So background on it is Aristotle, the guy who plays Angelo. He wrote the sketch also. So realistically, it was just like nailed writing and execution because it was the same person.
Yeah.
But also, it's just so like weird and out there that it's funny.
Yes.
Especially when you've stayed up now till 12:50 at night, and it's just ending with tonight.
Say again for me. Very good.
It's for listeners. This is very close to a improv game we used to play called Poets Corner.
That's right.
And all it is you basically do what Angelo and Rami Malek did, but only to one word.
That's right. Oh. And I mean, yeah, there's not much to say about this one. It was a good time.
Mm-hmm. All right, that brings us to the end of the episode. So, Connor, sketch of the night.
Sketch of the night. It's gonna have to be celeb school for me. Yeah, it's gonna have to be Celeb School for me. It was a very rare, like, depending on how well you took it, it was either 6 to 8 really good impressions doing like having a lot of fun, and it was solidly done. I had a really, really good time.
I like that a lot too. My sketch of the night though, Bug Assembly, without a doubt.
Oh,
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 everything. I think that sketch. I think that's probably the most technically sound of all the sketches, just because we have. I mean, it even throws its own little like Chekhov's Lil Wayne, where Bowen says where they ask how does the daddy long legs get its prey, and he says he throws a credit card down and says daddy's got it, and that sets up for the final line of that sketch, the punchline, which it is to me that was a real punchline.
no, I agree.
Where Bowen says that they're gonna get Rami Malek a TV show with Bravo because Daddy Longlegs' father's one of them is an exec at Bravo and one of them is a Republican.
So good. What a good sketch.
And he's like, "We're going out. Book the school bus, and don't worry, Daddy's got it." And we end the sketch. Oh, so amazing. Perfect.
It's it is a good night when literally the worst sketch of the night, which again probably Prince would be the best sketch of the night in a weaker one.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could imagine a night where that was the best sketch.
Mm-hmm. You just gotta love it when the cast members and the host mesh perfectly and just produce some great art.
Absolutely.
Big. I'll start with Offensive Player of the Week.
Okay.
Offensive Player of the Week for me is Bowen Yang. I think anytime that he was on screen, he was killing it. His weakest performance of the night is probably Sleepytown Sketch, and even then, he nails his character perfectly. It's one of the few times. It's one of the few times we truly see Bowen play a straight man, and so. It's one of those rare instances where you can see he truly does have the full range of potential.
Yeah, no. It's true. He's very, very good. For me, I think I'm pretty predictable on this, but I'm gonna need to give it to the host again.
Really, you're giving offensive to the host this time. Normally you do defensive.
Yeah, Rami Malek came out guns blazing. I can't think of a single performance he did not give his all and make just he was not backing up or he was backing up the scenes as well as he needed to, but he was not in the background when he was backing up those scenes. He was always there. He just his performance as Pete Davidson, his really solid performance in Squid Game, his performance in the first again, even when he was a supporting character in Bug Sketch, a supporting character standing behind Bowen Yang's amazing Daddy Longlegs, he still managed to be memorable just by being really good at playing the role he was given. It's like my mom said to my sister when she got a really shitty role in a musical. She was like, she was a brick in the yellow brick road. And my mom was like, you go out there and you be the best brick there is. And that's what Rami was in that sketch. He was the best brick there was.
You see, that's why I'm putting Rami as my defensive player of the week, because I think that he was the glue of this episode. A different host would have failed a lot of these sketches. And Rami, he showed up, he played his part, he hit his mark, and he gave it his all. That is a defensive player of the week for me.
Fair enough. Defensive for me is hard. I couldn't find someone that really they did a really good job this episode of rotating the cast around, giving everybody a shot. So it's hard to find. The person who came up for me, I guess, is Michael Shea. he was only there for Weekend Update, but he was always there to he did the jokes, he delivered them well. He had a retort whenever he needed one. He was there. He was there. He did his work. He did it solidly. He supported the scene. He was I can't say enough things.
Yep.
I can't say the same three things enough.
Mm-hmm. That's all our categories for now, right?
Yep.
Perfect. Great episode. This upcoming week, we got Jason Sudeikis and Brandi Carlile. I think we're going to get another good sketch. Good night.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get another good night. SNL alum. So, here's the thing. With an SNL alum, stakes are a little bit higher because people have more expectations.
And as well, we should.
Mm-hmm. I just hope we get What's Up with that.
Oh, that'd be very good. That'd be very good. I do know we're going to finally get something within my wheelhouse in the form of at least one Ted Lasso joke.
Oh, I love Ted Lasso too, so it's going to be perfect.
Excellent.
All right, until next week, everyone have a wonderful day, and please support local comedy. So long.
See ya.